'Tis good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family, back once more with another daily live stream. Right now we've got an article that has surfaced. That shout out to the members in the coin factory server who brought this to our attention, ultimately talking about the possibility that Casper could fall 93% in 2025. Now, we're going to get into this article in this stream, amongst many other things, like Son Polinsky, Casper's founder here, predicting that Visa would adopt scalability technology similar to Casper's in this cycle, which is already happening to an extent, and maybe one day they'll adopt Casper as well. Of course, time will tell. We've got a lot of big sources to cover in this stream. Ultimately, a lot of it, for my belief, is going to be debunking this article. While I'm not discrediting the belief that Casper could fall in price, again, time will tell, no one can say for sure, 93%, if you take the price of Casper where it's at right now at 11.797 cents, down 2.5% on the daily time frame, and we go down as much as 93%. We see Casper be valued at around, well, less than a cent again. So the question is, will Casper fall down to being valued less than a cent? For me, I don't see that as a possibility unless something drastic happened where the founders and developers came out doing something really, really shady and dumped on everyone, which, they're doing everything they can to be transparent. They aren't even bothering about talking about the price action. So the chance of that happening for me is little to none unless it's a black swan event. But we'll get into why the article states as much, and also debunking what's happening with other sources coming in from Binance US, from other listings to Grayscale, and much, much more. This major post here from Polinsky talking about the incoming developments towards smart contracts and base rollups coming to Casper, and much, much more. I do agree to an extent with Christian Ludwig here. It does seem like right now this does seem to be the bottom for Casper at around 11 cents. I stated so myself over the past few streams that so far a strong level of support for Casper seems to be around this region of 11 cents. It's doing very, very well, rebounding off it on 3 different occasions here. Should we lose that support, the next one for me will be in and around the $10.50 region, in and around here. And then of course 10 cents is the next one, which seems to be the next strongest support level. We've seen it rebound off that on numerous occasions. If we lose that, then we could be seeing a severe correction ahead for Casper. It depends though on my belief on Bitcoin, but in saying that, Casper was down to 11 cents when Bitcoin was down from 98 to 95, is now down to 93.3, going closer to this level of support at 92, and Casper is still holding strong right now, currently valued just short of 12 cents. Whether to leave Casper, of course, we'll get to that in the stream, but as always, if you're going to be doing these daily, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. So, without further ado, this to me does seem to be a bottom of sorts for Casper. Hopefully the market seems to go through a recovery going into the new year. Of course, a lot of incoming catalysts that could determine the price of Bitcoin and Casper and, crypto as a whole going into the new year. The current CBBI is about at 78 now in confidence, which is relatively a bullish indicator for me, considering that, there's so much more momentum left for crypto. So much more left for crypto, honestly. Normally when this gets into the high 90s, 95 and above, that's when you start seeing it get a little bit overheated and a correction following that. Well, we're at 78 right now at 93k Bitcoin. So for me, Bitcoin still has a lot more rallying potential in this cycle. And maybe we see a double top again. We have to talk about that more as the market develops and matures more and more. We can see once more from the funding heat map that, despite the price of Bitcoin holding relatively strong at around 92 to 98k, so to speak, it's cooled off massively. And this actually does coincide with the predictions and information I was providing a few months back, or even a few weeks back, when we were looking at December time on this funding heat map back here. It was all very, very orange and overheated. I can't go back further than a year, so I can't show you. You have to go check my previous streams. But you go back over a year, back in December, it was massively orange for a short period of time, then it had a massive cool-off period we're in right now, and history right now is repeating itself. That could therefore mean we see a lot more heating up in and around the latter half of Q1, February to March time, and you'll see Bitcoin go parabolic. You'll see regulatory frameworks and much, much more coming to crypto. We've got a lot of sources in that regard as well. FTX, Michael Saylor talking about it, Larry Fink talking about it. Trump has some other information here. Ultimately though, things look very, very bullish for crypto going forward from here into the new year. We are currently 2 days away from 2025. Absolutely groundbreaking. What's up, Devious Me? Welcome back to stream, my man. KJI, pump the like, you know it. Thomas Keeve, DCA, Casper, please, everyone, do not lose. Hope everything is going to be okay. Everything, I believe, personally, is going to be perfectly fine. Casper right now is struggling. It's nothing we haven't seen before. It's been like this for a year. It's been frustrating. I acknowledge that front. I've been talking about that a lot. But for me, my conviction has never wavered. The two basic on-surface reasons for that is simply looking at the hash rate for Casper, which has been rallying more and more, making a new all-time high recently. It surpasses recently as well, about 1.57. I saw a post on that on Twitter earlier at 1.57. So the hash rate is going higher and higher, which is good because, you know, not long ago we had a whole month of just stagnant hash rate. It was still high, but just stagnant, had a massive drop off, and now it's rallying again. So potentially you're seeing more miners coming online, potentially Grayscale. That's an indication that they're starting to increase their allocation of Casper. Keep in mind, Grayscale started mining Casper in September of 2023, which is all the way back here, when it was around 16 PH. They announced it publicly in June, July of 2024, when it was around, 200 or so, give or take? That's when they announced it. 200-300 was when they publicly announced it. And since they announced it, it went parabolic. And then it cooled off, and now it's going parabolic as a potentially getting more miners online, which is a very, very big deal. Not to mention as well, the holders has been increasing more and more. Look at the amount of holders we're getting, despite the fact that Casper's price is correcting right now, and we pretty much got green across the board in the last 24 hours for holders. We're now at 580k. We might actually reach 600k within the next week, which would be a massive, massive milestone once more. Potentially we're seeing a, leading towards a big listing coming soon. Of course, there's always the talk about a binary setting we're going to get to once more in this stream. But ultimately, my conviction in Casper never wavers. This is an information for me. While I talk about it every stream and it might get a bit boring hearing about it, it's important to understand these are the indicators to show us that Casper is not struggling, and also why I believe Casper won't be correcting 93% in 2025. If that's talking end of the cycle, maybe, who knows. I still think it's a bit excessive. But if you're talking about not even going any higher from here and falling 90%, then no. We'll get into the article right now real quick before I get into other major sources. So first off here, an article, no discredit to the author in question. It's, content, right? It's content, right? Ultimately talking about how the Casper has been underperforming lately, the fact that it's dropped 21, almost 22% over the past month, and therefore ultimately talking about the fact that we've been seeing more milestones, like again, new all-time high for holders, all this sort of very bullish news. The price still isn't increasing as a result of that. So can Casper potentially face a 90% decline in value here? By the time of writing this article, he states that Casper appeared ready for a significant price drop as its chart revealed a classic head and shoulders pattern. Once more, I talk about this time and time again. TA is important to help gauge the, your support and resistance zones of a project, and potentially to an extent, Jessica also can help you determine the direction the project's going to go to. But it shouldn't be your holy grail. It shouldn't. It really, really shouldn't be your holy grail. It shouldn't be your Bible. If you're basing your whole investment portfolio purely off TA, you may be very successful from that, and if you are, congratulations. And I don't want to negate your trading strategy, but for me, the most successful traders I know look at the elements of TA. This sort of stuff may be important, but look at elements of TA, but they also utilize real-world developments from the project and the whole ecosystem as a question, and use that to help develop their own trading strategies and therefore predictions. The necklines seem to be acting as a critical support level, preventing a sharp decline. However, if this level is breached, Casper could steep free fall on the chart. So ultimately, once more, the element of TA saying Casper's holding at the level of support here. If it breaks, it will come down. Now that is pretty self-explanatory. I've been talking about that already. If Casper loses this level here, when TradingView wants to low up, if Casper loses this level here of 10 cents, I think that'll be deemed as a very, very critical level of support loss, and we'll see it probably come down quite significantly, potentially, or at least quite sharply. It might then recover quite quickly, but we'll probably see it come down to the 9, maybe 8 cents region, because that is, as proven, a very strong level of support at 10 cents, and equally 9 cents here. So that is nothing we haven't heard before, but obviously he's highlighting the head and shoulders pattern here as his reasoning. He then talks about the bearish trend for Casper as well being confirmed. The key market indicators being the average directional index ADI and the bull bear power BBP, which confirmed a bearish outlook for Casper. All this sort of information here. So those are the two, seemingly, the two main reasons for why Casper could potentially face a 93% decline. But again, as I mentioned at the beginning of this stream, a 93% decline from its current value. Even if you take it from its all-time high of, 20 cents, 90% decline, bring it down to 1 cent and 1.28 cents. From its current price, 90% decline would bring it down to down here. So, 0.8 cents, not even a cent. We haven't seen Casper at those sort of levels since, well, I don't even think even back here, May 2023 potentially. But it's been so long. For me, a 93% decline in the price of Casper is just... It is just highly unlikely. I'm not going to say impossible because nothing is impossible in this cycle, but it's highly, highly unlikely. And I have reason to support that belief. There, of course, is a massive divide with Casper right now. A lot of people are bearish on it because it has lackluster price action. But then you have people who are extremely bullish on it. I highlighted a video yesterday from Sin City himself, which for some reason I haven't retweeted. I don't know why. But ultimately, it's a video from Sin City where he was just highlighting, this whole people complaining about the price action. Just stop panicking. Nothing fundamentally has changed for Casper, and that is the truth of the fact. Nothing's changed. Things are looking very, very good right now for Casper all in all. Yes, its price is struggling, but into the development of what they're building is only accelerating. We have another article here from CoinSpeaker. Best altcoins to buy this month. Casper, Toncoin, and Pluto Chain make headlines. All for good reasons, So again, you can see there's obviously once more still a divide. Some people are saying Casper could fall down lower. That might just be the try to get the click title on it, if you will, the clickbait. But other people talk about Casper can still do very, very well, talking about what Casper has ahead of it, and the fact that Casper is extremely undervalued all in all. And that coincides with everything else we have here as well. This is one of many reasons why Casper, I think, won't collapse in this cycle. And even after the cycle's over, still it won't collapse. It might come down, as most projects will do, although once more I want to bring your attention to an article that I have retweeted, I believe already, and also highlighted in previous streams, with article here from, I believe, the BIS. I don't see the name of it, but I'm 90% sure this is the BIS logo and page here. But ultimately, it's an institutional article, institutional conversation around crypto at the moment, which states there could be an end of the 4-year cycle. Of course, it's not a guarantee, but it's a possibility there for that. The traditional, you see a 1.5 year gradual explosive bull run to then a 2 to 2.5 year bear cycle building up, so to speak. You might see it pump as it does in 2025, reaching the end Q4, whatever, November time, and then you start seeing it to come back a little bit, but it won't actually retrace heavily, not the classic 70 to 80 to 90% correction in Bitcoin normally see, because institutions are here and they want to pump the price of Bitcoin and crypto up much higher. Again, that's speculative. Do your own research, but institutions seem to believe that we may see the end of 4-year cycles. And once more, the stuff that I'm going to be analysing a lot closer and bringing information towards in my communities. I've got the free Discord server, which people I'm sure are already part of, but the link is right here in the description on my YouTube homepage and also now in the chat. And of course, then I have the executive page, which is a WAP that I created about a week or two ago, which is basically just the more in-depth information in there, highlighting active ways to make money through trading and whatnot, and much more information. We're going to be ramping up a lot more going into the new year, but it's already done very, very well, and I'll get back to that a little bit later on. But of course, for me, Casper, I am more in the belief, yes, I'm a maxi. I'll wholeheartedly have my hands up. I'm a Casper maxi, but I believe that Casper is more likely to excel than it is going to retrace. Got this post here from Son Polinsky, ultimately talking about, your number one goal this holiday holiday season should be to learn everything you can about based rollups. Based rollups are the most, I can't pronounce that word, I apologize, but it is ultimately, I understand, he's trying to say it's absolutely insane, it's insanely ambitious, and if it works, it can reshape the fabric of society. It's truly, truly amazing based rollups. And what do we have here? Son Polinsky, Casper's founder himself, replying to this post, just basically agreeing with him and saying, for base rollup to thrive, you need on-chain subsec, so 1 or 2 seconds, confirmation times. Thus, it's hard to imagine the likes of Ethereum or opcatted Bitcoin become a native ecosystem for based teams. Building base will end up either introducing non-based workarounds or migrating to chains with subsec. Ultimately, he's saying that you've got the likes of Ethereum, the likes of Bitcoin, and other chains right now that can't truly achieve I'll bring up the max potential of base rollups because their systems, their protocols don't allow them to, so they have to utilize workarounds. So for Ethereum, you've got their L2 sequencer to allow them to do that. Of course, Casper Guru here, shouts my man, says, why do you need sub-second confirmation time? Some people ask because slow confirmation times are one primary reason alongside fees and MEF resistances of why Ethereum rollup teams are shifting to non-based. Same applies to why smart contract teams like Uni shift to app chains. Ultimately, the understanding of base rollup is something we should all be looking more and more in towards, especially for Casper, because it's going to be a very, very big deal. And Casper are working towards it right now. They got smart contracts already in works. They already have had multiple talks with Crypto Aspect seemingly at the helm of it, leading it, talking about the base rollup, ZK, Ethereum based rollups, all that sort of stuff as well. And Casper are the ones trying to crack this for a proof of work, which is going to be revolutionary, and also on a 10 BPS, so they won't have to utilize a workaround, an L2 sequencer to be able to do this, which would be absolutely game-breaking, groundbreaking, game-changing. And that will allow Casper to become, more widely adopted, more widely accepted by other developers, institutions, you name it, and therefore you'll see more capital flowing through on the platform, on the chain, on the block DAG. As a result, you'll see the demand for Casper rise, and that will help its price. That's one of the major things that's coming out in 2025, in this cycle. You'll see it develop more and more, I'm sure, as time goes on, but provided, hopefully, everything goes according to plan, which right now seems to be everything on track, you'll be seeing this come out in the cycle. Whether it happens nearing the end and therefore the cycle's come into its, its peak and it's coming down a little bit, or whether it happens while the market's really, really hot, we can't say for sure yet. We've got to analyze it and take every day as it comes. But big things are coming for Casper still in the cycle. Big, big things. And speaking of big things as well, I want to highlight this video from Son Polinsky himself from 2018, so it is a while back, but even just as relevant now. Because keep in mind as well, for a little bit of a backstory, Shai, and I believe Son Polinsky as well, but they both confirmed, or Shai at least confirmed, that they had the opportunity and they were planning to launch Casper back in 2018. But they held off because they wanted to make sure it was more fleshed out before releasing it. So that's why it came out 3 years later in 2021, in the peak of the cycle. And it's just been going up during the whole bear. So everything was crashing, Casper was the only one going up higher and higher. It's struggling for the last year, but it's already outperformed the majority of other cryptos in the cycle. But the cycle wasn't even here yet. When the cycle properly, the cycle is here now, when Casper actually catches the cycle, it's going to do extremely well. So as we listen to this video, understand, of course, it's not financial advice. And ultimately, even though the stuff here says predict that Visa would adopt scalability technology similar to Casper, it's not saying they will adopt Casper. They may do in the future, and I'll explain my reasons as to why. But ultimately, talk about the fact that we could generally see the likes of Visa, which you are already seeing to an extent, adopting technology. Blockchain technology will be very groundbreaking for this space again. So listen very closely to this groundbreaking video.
This is sort of a trivial slide that is hard to convince people. It's sort of paradoxical. So anyone who knows blockchain internally acknowledges that it is in and of itself a technology, a database technology that is inferior to any centralized database. Now, there are many talks in the community how to scale up the system, but we must acknowledge that any scaling technology will forever lose to Visa's technology. And we'll get to it shortly why, but and this is not a prediction about adoption. This is a statement about the technology itself. And the reason is that because we are trying to build a trustless system, this trustless implies lots of scalability limitations, which Visa doesn't have. So any feature that that blockchain will have, Visa will probably copy, scalability-wise. So today, it's 10,000 transactions, the capability of Visa at least. Bitcoin is not near that. So whenever someone says, we have blockchain is more secure, it's not more secure per se, it's not more private per se, and it's slower.
So the takeaway from this, ultimately, is Son Polinsky is just basically bringing the attention to the fact that with where crypto is heading, where it has been heading since 2018, and even longer than that, we're going to be, he also, I mean, that's why Casper's here where it's at right now. He knew that there was going to be a shift in the financial system to where you're going to start seeing decentralized currencies, digital assets, blockchain, crypto adopted as the backbone of finance. You're seeing it already. Bitcoin reserves are being talked about. ETFs are coming up for crypto. XRP right now seems to have a massive hold on the financial sector of central banks right now. Visa is partnered with Ripple and XRP. They have spent over 1 million or even maybe even $1 billion. I think over $1 billion acquiring companies that Ripple are partnered with. So Visa and Ripple are very closely connected. As he highlights, technology like Bitcoin and Ethereum and them sort of stuff, they aren't really quick enough. They aren't scalable enough. Visa, as we saw, handles at least 10,000 transactions per second. Bitcoin is slow. Ethereum in comparison is slow as well. There aren't many protocols out there that can handle that sort of significant speed. The benefits of blockchain is, it does give you some form of protection to an extent against these centralized systems. But of course, there are limitations, right? You can see here, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies between 3 to 30. Visa does at least 10,000 per second. Now, there was a post I saw which highlighted Ripple's CTO, Chief Technology Officer David Schwartz. He replied to an article, I think a Forbes article or something like that, where he basically confirmed, or the article stating that apparently, should it be required, XRP's ledger can scale up to, I think it was 30,000 transactions per second or something like that. Now, of course, be that as it may, point being is Casper right now can only handle 300. Now, 300 already is, it's quite a dated video. So right now, a lot of technology has ramped up since then. For example, XRP's ledger right now, to my knowledge, can handle 1,500 transactions per second. Casper right now can only handle up to 300, effectively at least. But with 10 BPS, that right now is only 300. With 10 BPS, which again is in 2025 Q1, so what, 3 months less than that potentially from now? That'll jump from 300 to 3,000. That will actually be 6,000 times faster than Bitcoin, which is insane. And there's also the possibility for Casper one day to be achieving sort of speeds up to 10 BPS, which would then make it from 3,000 to 30,000 transactions per second. And if that's the case, then you will see this sort of stuff come to fruition. Visa does 10,000 per second. Casper will be able to do 30,000 if we get to 100 BPS. But again, it's a possibility. That's what some Polinsky wants to do. Is it necessary? Of course, time will tell. But you've got to remember as well, where the limit, so to speak, for 10 BPS would be 3,000 TPS. That doesn't mean we can't go over that. It means you'll see more congestion and probably a little bit of, issues or slowing down the transaction speed or whatever it may be. But it will be able to go above. Again, take Casper. It can handle 300, but during the peak of the KRC20 relaunch, it went up to 1,100. It 4x'd the max it should be able to do. And you saw a lot of congestion there, as you expect. The whole point I'm trying to get to here is that you're going to see a lot of developments happen very, very soon. He forecast that in Q1 2025, again, literally starting 2 days from now, you'll see Visa start to actually get more and more involved in partnering with the likes of, crypto companies. Remember as well, Visa has partnered with Tangem, hardware wallet to launch Tangem Pay, marking the first ever Visa plus hardware wallet partnership. Remember as well, Visa and Casper, they're basically embedded with each other. No, not Visa and Casper. Well, I guess yes, but Tangem and Casper, they're basically embedded with each other. Tangem and Casper are very, very closely partnered. Very closely partnered. That's why there's also a very bullish belief of KRC20 now coming to Tangem. Visa and Tangem Pay coming up very, very soon. You'll see a lot of Visa connections to Casper coming out very soon as well. Ultimately, Visa are making a lot of money-making moves inside the crypto space to get into the financial sector with crypto. You're seeing a lot of it at Ripple, to my knowledge. You're seeing most of the real-world utility tokens are getting this adoption. So you've got the likes of XRP, you've got the likes of Quant that'll be there, HBAR, Algorand, XLM, XDC, and so on and so forth. Casper right now is very early. But because of this man right here, Son Polinsky, because of what they are building, which is truly revolutionary, because they have partnerships, the likes of the KRI, who are helping them they're being a market maker to get Casper's name out there. The fact that you have other announcements, the fact that you've got Binance's or ex-Binance US's head of listing research, Nicholas Sismill, he made an article about Casper. You know, a massive long article ultimately talking about the fact that the block DAG theory as a generalization of Nakamoto's consensus therefore achieves high scalability. Even more so, scalability is achieved while increasing the security of original Nakamoto consensus and maintaining its decentralization. Thus, we can say the blockchain trilemma is solved. This is Binance US's head of listing research, Nicholas Sismill. He works for Casper now. Before he worked for Casper, shout out to Casper Frog once more, my man, for this scoop. I mean, either way, the point being, it's very, very big news. So you've got the likes of Binance, which again, Binance and Casper, their connections are growing more and more and more. And the speculation right now is you're going to see a listing with them in Q1, hopefully January time, but of course we'll have to wait and see. There's also rumours from, I think it was Sin City, saying that apparently it was meant to happen this month in December, but it fell through for some reason. We can you know, debate as to why. But ultimately still it's a very, very bullish thing for Casper. Casper had the connections. While the institutional connections are pumping the price of Casper, the VC backer isn't here properly for Casper. It has the spider web's already been made. It's not affecting the price right now because there's nothing to really push it right now. The Binance is not here just yet. You've got a Binance US head listing though, here for Casper. Visa, they aren't properly here with Casper yet, but the fact they're working with Tangent Pay and they're getting more from crypto, that could be a big for them as well. The fact that you've got Grayscale ETFs in consideration right now, that comes from Casper. I still think Casper will get ETFs this cycle. Especially with 10 BPS and smart contracts coming out, I think Casper's going to have a very, very big rally. And the fact that you've got Marathon Digital Holdings, a Bitcoin-only mining company diversified to Casper, their shareholders are the likes of Wall Street and BlackRock. They have to get their approval to mine Casper. They wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. I believe they'll be like, you know what, put Casper on ETFs as well. I think we'll get that as well in this cycle. Now I hope Casper price jump leaps and bounds more than we can expect. My bearish prediction is $2 still. Maybe it doesn't reach that. Maybe it goes surpassing that. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But there's so much potential for Casper, which is why I don't really believe in this sort of headline. I think this headline is more sort of a clickbait thing, which again, get your money. Fine by me, you know. Fine by me, get your money. But I don't think this is a realistic expectation. 93% decline, meaning less than 1 cent Casper, for me is way too excessive. In general, I don't think Casper goes down that low ever in its lifetime again. At least not for the foreseeable future. Not especially when you've got other listings like here. For example, you got the Nexo and listing of Casper happened not too long ago. The adoption, as per here for Casper Door, is actually really, really big. Because now when you can buy Casper directly with your CC, Apple Pay and Google Pay, Nexo has a 4 million user base in over 200 jurisdictions. You can spend your capital with a credit card, virtual and or physical one, and you can borrow crypto against your collateral with low percentage, deposit your crypto assets as collateral on Nexo to earn interest or borrow crypto assets against their collateral. So Nexo has done a very big deal. While it's not done anything drastic for capital price again, it's once more laying the foundation. Right? Like it's laying the foundation. For example, I guess, for those who may be gamers here, I'll give you a bit of an analogy. The way I can think about it, think of Minecraft. Everyone knows Minecraft, right? Casper right now, they're going strip mining. And they found a load of, you know, iron, a load of gold, a load of lapis lazuli. They got a load of diamonds they're getting as well. Some of this diamond stuff, like smart contracts to me, is a diamond they found. They haven't got the enchantment table yet or the crafting bench to make that into their armor. To pimp them out. To get their diamond swords and diamond axes. And then a netherite, for those who are even more up to date with Minecraft. Point being is Casper's laying the foundation, they're getting the parts together, and they're starting to get ready to actually push this out to build their armor to let that price go up much, much higher. To become even more solid as a project. And you'll see, therefore, the people who are probably throwing digs at them, the zombies and the skeletons firing shots at them and taking away a heart or two every single time, with their armor on, it will do limited damage, half a heart. You know, you'll laugh it off. It won't matter. And Casper's going to keep going up higher and higher. Nexo here has proven itself to be the safest crypto lending platform after Celsius and BlockFi both experienced liquidity issues in 2022, freezing customer funds and filing for bankruptcy. Nexo is a regulated, again, keyword, regulated, compliant, friendly, and the most reliable, reputable lending platform in the industry. Of course, do your own research. Very important to do. Don't just take my word for it. Don't take Casper's word for it. Do your own research. But it's a very, very big deal. And once more, regulated is very important based on the current ecosystem we're going into. Regulatory clarity, regulatory frameworks. The fact that once more, to remind you, Casper, as I'm about to put an article up here, have just been nominated by the INA TBA. Here, nominated as the most exciting DeFi decentralized finance solution category of 2025. Absolutely massive, massive news. And to remember you once more, INA TBA, they offer public and private developers and users of DLT a global forum to interact with regulators and policymakers and bring blockchain technology to the next stage. These two roles, if you will, these two jobs, the regulators and policymakers, they are crucially important in the current dynamic we're going into for crypto, but also to get the approval of ETFs. Absolutely pivotal. To allow other institutions to trust and jump on board Casper, they need to have the go-ahead by regulators and policymakers that it's a safe project to use, to jump on board with. If there's any form of negative sentiment around a project, institutions are going to steer clear of it. They're not going to have faith in it. Marathon mines Casper because they believe that there isn't really much of a risk for them, if at all. It's actually really, really good investment for them to be mining Casper right now. They've been increasing the allocation of Casper a handful of times. With 10 BPS coming out, Casper's going to jump leap and bounds in terms of speed, going from 300 to 3,000 TPS, being 6,000 times faster than Bitcoin, being 2 times faster than the XRP Ledger. And then you'll see much more coming through. You'll see smart contracts coming out not too long after that as well, based rollups as well, allowing Casper to actually start stealing liquidity and money from other major chains. I highlight this post all the time, but I feel like it's so important. For those who may be joining for the first time, welcome, and you'll understand where I'm coming from. But for those who already know I'm going with, Chris Kang here, he's the Casplex co-founder. He made a post on the 20th of September talking about Casper ZK options, which are smart contracts, will become the endgame. It's a six section thread. I won't get into the whole thing of it, but ultimately he's talking about the fact that existing L2 solutions, which includes the likes of Ethereum, the likes of AVAX, and many, many more, of course, all the other proof of stakes that utilize L2 sequences, they are now centralized as a result. They're not decentralized anymore. They're centralized because L2 sequences, they're utilizing, as somebody puts it here, they're utilizing workarounds. L2 sequences are workaround. So they're already centralized. They will not want to give up their centralized sequence of schemes because they are now currently generating income ranging from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars a month. So much money a month. Don't break, if it's not broken, don't fix it sort of thing, right? They're making the money. They don't need to change. However, they probably know that whether they know it or not, they are being threatened by the likes of Casper. Because Casper can handle everything that these L2 are doing and then some because of its network, because of its 10 BPS, because of its smart contracts. The computation results would then be further verified by Casper's network. That's the one I wanted? No. Which one is it I wanted? There's one I saw in particular. Yeah, look. After Casper's crescendo upgrade next year, very soon, it will reach 10 BPS, eliminating the need for scalability. These L2 solutions are a necessity for scalability. They can't do it otherwise. But Casper with 10 BPS doesn't need the L2 sequences to help it out. Therefore, with Casper's ability to verify ZK proofs based rollups, they will become the infrastructure for the entire blockchain world. And once more, don't be emotional, be logical. This won't happen overnight. You're not going to see 10 BPS come out, smart contracts come out, and boom, millions flow to Casper straight off the bat. No, the KRI will probably accelerate some of that based on their, gigawatt, their warp core, their asset mint, their olive chains, and all the other projects they've got working with Casper right now. ZET, zero emissions, they've got a lot of stuff coming with Casper that happen following smart contracts, and that'll help accelerate that sort of stuff, and you'll probably see more developments as well. But remember, again, this won't happen overnight, but you will be able to see this sort of shift happening gradually, and it will make Casper the most dominant, and you'll start seeing that affect the price of Casper as the demand rises higher and higher. Right now, Casper's price is struggling, and also right now, because we're in the Christmas season, the holiday season is a bit slow right now, the volume has gone back to being struggling a bit as well. We've been hovering around 150 million plus for the past month or so. It hit the 10th of November, was when we saw a massive spike. Right now, we're down to 68 million. It's not good stuff to see, of course. Once we're seeing the likes of Mexi and Gate dominating the volume right now for Casper, it's frustrating to see, right? But once more, it's a cycle. Nothing's going to be going up and up forever. Even Bitcoin right now, it's not going up right now. It's stagnant. It's actually correcting in value. I hope we can hold the level we're at. And with Casper where it's at right now, you'll see the volume start to ramp up. You'll see the major tier 1 exchange listing, the likes of Binance, OKX, Coinbase maybe a little bit later on. You'll see potentially Upbit as well. You'll probably see Crypto.com, Gemini, and many, many more jump on board. Even Robinhood potentially list Casper as well. If you get a grayscale listing, these tier 1s will, in my belief, not financial advice, they will scamper to this Casper if you get a ETF beforehand. Because that means institutions are going to be buying it. And the tier 1s are going to realize, oh god, the price is potentially going to soar. Again, it's speculative because once more, when Ethereum had the ETFs launched, it didn't move at all. In fact, it went down. Saying that now Ethereum is starting to rally a little bit. Ethereum neared all-time highs already. Once the market takes off, once you get regulatory clarity, frameworks coming through from Trump within the next month or two, potentially a little bit longer, depending on how soon the regulators get pushed out, you'll see a drastic shift in this sector. So much money will be available to be made in this sector. And that's once more why I'm so bullish on crypto. And in particular, that's why when I see articles like this, I read it, of course, to try and get an understanding of the mindset of some people, of understanding why the price could potentially fall down as far as they're saying. And I look at this, I'm like, okay, so your predictions are based on TA. I understand your element, I understand your belief for that. However, I personally disagree. Because I understand when the market's going, at least I like to believe, understand to an extent when the market. I mean, if some people are saying Bitcoin's about to correct to 60k. Now, I'm not saying that's impossible. I think it's unlikely. But again, it's not financial advice. Do your own research. For me right now, I think Bitcoin is going to be cooling off. I think possibly worst case we correct around here. Absolute worst case. But again, time will tell. And equally, to have a more of an in-depth understanding as well, in my Patreon, we do have a trader who has been very, very successful so far in his analysis of the crypto market and crypto projects. For example, he predicted a little while back here that there's a lot of sell pressure right now, and equally there's a lot of volume at the 92k support level. So therefore, it wouldn't be a bad idea, not financial advice of course, to short Bitcoin from here, and he was correct. Short it down 6%. If you used leverage, you would have made it even more. And then we saw it hold that level and even reverse. And we saw a leg up, which was a very bullish indicator. We saw it hold and a leg up, which was a bullish indicator. Now it's coming back down again. There still seems to be quite a strong level of support here. So hopefully we see it rebound off this again and go up. If it doesn't even reach that, there could be a sign for a sort of pattern moving upside, which is very, very bullish. But our trader has also done some other, that's obviously the understanding of where the market's going to go, right? He hopes we'll see a lot more speeding up going into the new year. But equally, he's made some very, very, very successful predictions as well in trades. For example, we've got this post here. I've showed it already in the past, but I want to highlight it once more. This is one of the numerous trades we have made, posts and trades that we've put into the community. This one is called Exocortex. We can see right here. We call this at a 29k market cap. This is Exocortex right here. Obviously, it's come down to 39k now. We called it back on the 19th. The 19th of December, so about 10 days ago now. We called it there, and as you can see here, it surged up to $735,000 market cap, which means you would have made a 2,400% gain, a 25x should you have taken out the top. Of course, that's relatively speaking. If you actually took out the top, fantastic. If not, you either could have taken it out around here, 400k market cap, it still would have been insane. But point being is that's one of multiple calls that we have made in that server that has done very, very well. So the trader's done extremely well already, and we'll see a lot more coming through very, very soon. And we'll get even more analysis of where the crypto market will go, I'm sure, in due time. So if you want to know more, then feel free to go check it out. Link it in the description, in my YouTube homepage, also now in the chat. But the market's only going to be going up faster and faster from here, and Casper is no exception. There's multiple ways to make money in crypto. I hold Casper as my biggest bag. I'm so bullish on Casper, and I see this as positive FUD for where it's going to go. Because Casper is only going to go higher, in my belief. You know, maybe it comes down further, but in the general thesis of this cycle, it's going to go much, much higher. I still believe $2 is on the cards. Bearish, absolute worst case. People saying $1. I could see that. That'll still be a 10x from here. I wouldn't be complaining. But I think $2 is still on the card based on this sort of institutional adoption that comes to Casper in that half of the cycle potentially. And of course, we could potentially even see 4, of course, at $100 billion market. Of course, time will tell. I have to do more research at the time, but I still think Casper could do very, very well. And I'm very optimistic about that. And I also, but as a result, you know, Casper I love, but of course, I've still done well in crypto so far. It's not me trying to tap my own back, but it's a whole premise of I like to also believe that an element of diversification is quite important. If you're going to go all in on a project, Bitcoin or Casper, sure, they're probably good bets. But me personally, I think diversification is very key to hedge your bets. I hedged my bets in XRP, made a 5x on that. I hedged it in SU, made a 3x on that. In C, which I'm not up right now, but I know it'll come back. Desync, when I spoke about AI project, I'm up 2x on. You got Tau, you got all the other Vulcan Forge, like all other projects that I've hedged my bets on. And then even in the meme trading side of things, which I've also done, Solana meme coin trading, I don't even know how much money I've made through that. Because I've been able to do these, you know, in conjunction with the traders that I have connections to who are now again part of this community. We're able to make some really, really good plays. Not necessarily making 25x all the time, but we're building up our capital consistently, having multiple wins. And therefore, we're able to keep building our capital more and more. And when I have enough dry powder, of course, I choose to allocate that back into Casper, because I see this as the best investment in the cycle, and cycles to follow as well. So yeah, again, there's more coming to crypto and Casper. I'm going to get to that more in this stream, but again, once more, if you want to go check out the what page right here, links in the description, the chat, also on the home page. And just to touch on why I created it, I also have the free Discord server, been about for 5 months now, 550 members, growing very quickly. You know, over 100 members a month is insane, and I hope to see it go more and more in the cycle. But there was a lot of FUD happening with the whole what Patreon thing in the last couple of weeks. Those who know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to, you know, beat a dead horse. But as a result of that FUD and the lack of trust in the space, I wanted to help provide even more so than I already do. And I thought, you know, if you want to understand even more ins and outs, then, you know, the mind's there, and it's also at a more affordable price. But again, if you want to go check out, do so if you will. But for me, once more, Casper is still in a prime position to do very, very well. I believe more so in this article that Casper is due to see an excessive gain. We have seen multiple massive content creators as well, the likes of Altcoin Daily, for example, 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube, say that in his top 21 under $1 crypto projects, Casper's the first one he said has got the best chance in the cycle to absolutely explode. So he's evidently done enough research to understand what's coming to Casper, understand as well that this project is just undervalued right now, extremely undervalued, and there's a lot coming to Casper. And he also understands the general direction, to an extent, of course, of the market, like I think we all should do as well. For example, we've got this post here, massive news, the FTX. They're going to begin repaying $16 billion to creditors on January 3rd, 2025. Interestingly enough, January 3rd, to my knowledge, is also the day that Congress are meant to be reconvening to discuss the elements of Trump. Let me see if I can find the article. I hope I put it in my Discord server. I really hope I did, because if not, that is going to be something I'm going to have to struggle to try and find. But it was, I think I did. I'm going to have to go and find it and put it in the Discord server. I apologize. But ultimately, talk about the fact that on the 3rd of January, Congress is meant to be convening, where they're going to be discussing 2 of the bills. I'm going to actually load up in this video here. You bring up 2 of the bills. 2 of the bills they want to discuss is the FIT 21 bill and stablecoin legislation bill. So hopefully by the time Trump gets into office on January 20th, which is about 3 weeks after that, they'll be able to hopefully implement them very, very quickly, which will allow the likes of JP Morgan, the likes of Merrill Lynch, UBS, Wells Fargo, and many, many more massive hedge funds to jump in board and start adopting ETFs, adopting crypto. So that's coming very, very soon. FTX will help bring more liquidity into the market. Of course, not all of them necessarily going to start reinvesting their money. They've probably scarred off the FTX. I don't blame them. But should they do, they can see more liquidity into crypto, into Bitcoin, sending it much higher as well. Furthermore, you've got videos like this. I'll play this probably a little bit in a second. But you've got here like Michael Saylor, of course, the Bitcoin maxi, the kind of leader and figurehead of Bitcoin, saying that we're going to see an end on the war to crypto under President-elect Trump's administration. that's pretty evident. He's seemingly very, very pro crypto, and I hope it stays that way. That's going to help massively with the price of Bitcoin, and that will inherently help the price of Casper as well and the crypto market. Right now, the crypto market is at a $3.28 trillion market cap. I could see it comfortably reaching 6 this cycle, potentially even as high as 8. Of course, time will tell. The understanding that I have, and that we should all understand, is that Bitcoin takes up over 50% of the total market cap of crypto. That may change as the market matures more and more. You might see actually other projects take up more and Bitcoin surpass it, and regresses below 50% of the total market cap. Right now, over 50%, 1.85 trillion to 1.28 trillion. So the understanding, if crypto reaches a 6 trillion market cap, then Bitcoin will probably reach 180k. Because that will be a 3 trillion market cap for Bitcoin, putting it at 150k, that'd be above that. So about 180k, give or take, I think is likely, should it reach 6 trillion market cap again. Maybe 150 to 180k sort of thing. That's kind of like where I could see Bitcoin reaching potentially. Very worst case would be 120k. But as you reach 8 trillion market cap and even higher than that, you see Bitcoin reach 4 trillion, reaching 250k, 200k, and so on and so forth. The price potential for crypto and Bitcoin is excessive. And remember, when the Bitcoin dominance falls off, as right now, it is still at a relatively high level. You can see right here, 57%. Once it drops below this trend line, even then drops below 50% down here, alts start going absolutely parabolic. And then you'll see these other projects start to go flying. You know, Casper, Sui, C, Tau. When Ethereum surpasses all-time high, and actually not just, you know, reaches it, like actually surpasses it, like blows above it, that's also another key indicator. You see alts start to go flying as well. At least to an extent. You'll see, to my belief, maybe 1 or 2 more alt cycles. Maybe even 3, depending on how the market actually behaves. But you'll see Bitcoin rally, alts will go as well. You'll see Bitcoin cool down and alts probably go a little bit further. Then you'll see, you know, Bitcoin go another rally, it reaches top, and then when that starts cooling off and the Bitcoin dominance falls off, you'll see crypto altcoins go parabolic, the biggest alt cycle in my belief. And you'll see a lot of developments then come out for these projects, most likely Casper, and that'll help its price go higher and higher. You'll see ETFs come out. You'll see Binance listings, you'll see other listings as well, because remember as well, Wolfie confirmed that many exchanges have known of Casper and they want to list projects, not just Casper, projects in general, but they can't because of the current SEC with Paul Atkins, the new SEC chairman, coming in, who seemingly is very pro-crypto. He will hopefully be less tyrannical on crypto adoption and allow exchanges to actually adopt projects as well, which would be very big. You'll see more listings therefore coming to Casper as well, potentially. You've got also lost over here again, Larry Fink, you know, the CEO of BlackRock, the $11.5 trillion asset manager, who says, I'm very bullish on the long-term viability of Bitcoin. It's very close to this video here.
See this type of, look, I'm very bullish on the long-term viability of Bitcoin.
I was going to say, did that surprise you?
That surprised me how much that's
Really?
gone up. I mean, look, it is. We're creating now a market that has more liquidity, more transparency, and I'm pleasantly surprised, and I would never have predicted it before we filed it, that we were going to see this type of retail demand.
So you thought you'd do good, but not this good.
I thought, yes.
Well, IBIT is your ETF over at iShares.
Yes.
It's about to overtake Grayscale, which was in the business certainly a lot longer. You look at the gains since January 11th when it first came about.
Yes.
Have you ever seen this much inflow this quickly into
IBIT is the fastest growing ETF in the history of ETFs.
The man speaks for himself. It's huge news. Of course, it's not a new interview. It's a relatively dated one. I believe it happened at the beginning of this year, maybe even 2023 even, maybe. March, no, it would have been 2024 when ETF released. But the point is self-explanatory, right? It's very big news. Bitcoin ETFs have been the fastest growing ETFs in history, and the long-term viability of Bitcoin is seemingly in safe hands. Of course, remember, don't be much biological, do your own research, and remember that everybody, in particular, these big Wall Street boys, they have their own agendas, right? They could very well be telling you this to get you to believe that Bitcoin will never come down, to then sell on your heads. They don't look out for you, they look out for themselves. They never do. It's very hard to find people who look out for you, and even then, everyone has their own personal agendas to an extent. Obviously, me myself, I have my own personal agenda. I want to make money this cycle, of course, but I've done my utmost to also be an educator. Again, that's why I made the free community in a Discord server, because I understand there's a lot of mistakes I made the last cycle, and I wanted to help people out, because I also do like helping people out. I'm a sucker for that sort of stuff. But I wanted to help people out to understand and, not fall for the same mistakes and traps that I would have fallen for in the last cycle. The understanding of, like, for example, right now where Casper's struggling, the project isn't a bad project. Nothing about the project has changed. You haven't had any lawsuits that's caused the price correction, had any, crashes or any fundamental changes. Nothing's changed for the project to be where it's at. It's just the price is not doing well. But therefore, as nothing's changed, it means that when the price recovers, because it's just been suppressed, it's going to be a volcanic eruption of price action, I like to believe. You've seen it with other projects as well. I've done it in the last cycle as well. It's like, for example, think about it again. For example, in this cycle, as Sin City mentioned in his crash out, reasonable crash out, about Cardano, people were fading Cardano and saying Cardano's rubbish when it wasn't pumping, when Solana and Ethereum and everything else was pumping. And then Solana jumped like 400% in like a month. Everyone stopped fading Cardano anymore. It's understanding to just, sometimes it's worthwhile just blocking up the noise, do your research, don't be emotionally logical, follow the money. And, also, again, join a community of people who are relatively like-minded, who all want to make money at the same time. Can be very, very helpful to help build your conviction and understand what's happening. And if you want to actually learn to make more money, then that's also, again, why we made the executive channel. To give you even more insights. But of course, yes, for me, this cycle is going to go much higher. I do believe crypto is going to go a lot higher. I don't trust what Larry Fink is saying to AT. But he's bullish on crypto and I'm bullish on crypto, so we have that common understanding. And I think we'll see it go higher. But of course, there'll be other stuff I'm looking towards, this sort of CBI stuff, indicators, the funding heat map, other indicators as well that we're looking to help gauge my exit and my exit levels, and much, much more. Trump's going to be a very big catalyst for crypto as well. He has made a post or an announcement recently about, he's saying that the European Union will face tariffs all the way if it does not purchase US oil and gas in large scales. Now, that does seem to be a bit of a highly proactive fighting talk, if you will. You can't say exactly what that means. We'll have to see where that leads the current economy. I know the US right now is definitely struggling to an extent with the whole trade element of things, because the BRICS nations are rallying more and more and they're becoming their own little alliance. I say little, it's actually growing quite big now. I think it's bigger than G7 actually, so it's not even little anymore, but they're growing their own alliance, and that's causing trade for the US to struggle more so. So Trump's trying to, take charge, as your president should do. But the fact of the matter still being is Trump's main agenda, from what I have seen, is crypto legislations. This stuff will follow. We'll have to deal with the fallout of how this happens in the market when it happens, but the crypto legislation is their primary goal from the sound of things, and that will help these projects go even more parabolic. Casper in particular will do very, very well, and you'll see many things coming for Casper. Binance listings. You'll see Grayscale ETFs. I'm really confident of that front. You'll see 10 BPS. You'll see smart contracts. You potentially see Visa doing more partnerships with other projects. Potentially Casper as well with 10 BPS. It won't be able to handle 10,000 TPS, but with the understanding and belief that you can reach 100 BPS at some point in the future, maybe they will take that step in the direction towards it. I think right now they're going to probably use XRP Ledger. I think XRP Ledger is probably the best positioned in the financial sector right now, because Ripple's been around for so long, and they also have the institutional partnerships. They have partnerships with Bank of America, Bank of England, they have People's Bank of China, they're partnered with Bank of Canada. They've got partnerships from all the massive central banks worldwide. So I think Ripple's going to do very well in its adoption, and therefore XRP will do well. But at the same time, when Casper builds up more of its developments, and therefore its connection to KRI continue to be a market maker for Casper, you'll see that adoption soar higher and higher as well. Again, remind you, all the stuff coming to crypto is looking absolutely exceptional, and this sort of, again, further reignites my belief that Casper is just sleeping, it's hibernating for the Christmas period. It's having a massive Christmas dinner still. It's sleeping off the massive Christmas food. You're going to wake up and party on New Year's as well, just get drunk, do nothing again, and then come to the new year, it'll start to actually lock in, make new resolutions. Like, what's my resolution? I'm going to make 10 BPS this cycle. This year I'm going to make 10 BPS, smart contracts, tier 1 listings, and I'm going to run, I'm going to start getting myself in shape. The price going to go up, Good evening, Casper. My man, back to the stream. I'm doing very well. Hopefully your family's doing well as well, my man. Check out the picture in the Discord channel. Let me give a quick look at that. The last dipper. Yes, that's a quality one right there. As we can see, the last dipper. I completely agree. The FUD is rescinding. This is going to be the last time we see it. What's up, Casper? My man, welcome back to the stream. Julian, I waited to increase my capital position. Would you recommend to buy now or wait? I would not recommend anything because I'm not a financial advisor. I can give you some form of analysis right now, which seems to be that this, to an extent, does seem to be the or a bottom for Casper at its current price, around 11 cents. The power loss is extremely undervalued. 2025 early on has a lot of bullish catalysts for crypto and Casper. Big developments are coming right now for Casper. If you're looking to leverage trade it, maybe you want to find better entry, again, that's up to you. If you're trying to hold it at this point as a position for this cycle, and even the cycles to follow, then I think, me personally, I am DCAing more into Casper right now. But it's up to you, my man. Reporting for duty, congrats, welcome back, Mr. Mars. Can't wait to hear what waffle you've put in this chat. Sup, good, my man. 90% drop, lol. Sounds like big money has found out about Casper. First BitBoy, then Crypto John, now this article. People want it cheap so they can load up. FUD campaign being run, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I think it was part of that. I do also believe, for the most part, it was more so just a headline, a catchy headline, because I mean, evidently that caught my attention. It caught Mr. Mars' attention as well. I put it in the community once more. Shout out to my man. And I read through the article and I was like, yeah, so you're talking about the fact that the addresses have gone up higher and higher, but the price has not moved in result of that, and it's come down more and more, so therefore it might crash. I'm like, yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough information for me. It's based on addresses going up, price not rising, and therefore it's going to crash because it's been, struggling for a while. You've got head and shoulders now. I'm like, yeah, nah. The hash rate is going higher. The holders are going higher. Very, very bullish. And a lot of bigger developments are coming for Casper still. So I'm still not worried. If the price comes down, fine. I'll fill up more. But I don't think it's going to crash 92%. I think that's a bit much. When pump? Not yet. Not yet, but hopefully soon, Nadehart. Yo, Buffalo 3, my man. When we'll sleep in turbo, then gonna move gains to Casper and lose it all. Big brain plays, Nadehart, honestly, my man. What's up, Alyssa? Hope you're doing very, very well today. Just on the mend. Being quite sick for the last 3 days. I'm afraid to look at my portfolio, but I know the long run potential. Yeah, right now the market has been quite quiet, quite slow as the Christmas period is here, so the portfolio is going to probably look a little bit worse for wear, but long term I'm sure you're fine. I'm sorry to hear you've been ill. Hopefully you feel better soon. I'm guessing you went too heavy on Christmas then. He said grayscale, but he meant marathon. Yes, I'm sure I meant that whenever I said that. It's been, good 40 minutes or so since I've been talking. I haven't answered any questions yet, so I definitely missed it. I apologise. So up to the back to stream. I think of many dynamics that would make it highly unlikely for Casper to drop that much. It would take me several messages to say, oh yeah, I know. Fair launch, it gained money just quicker than found as expected. A lot of the markup has come from exchanges buying. They've really dumped coins, so on and so forth. Yeah, I agree. There's for me, it's taking one of many indicators you could look towards as why Casper could dump in price. You're looking at the holders going up, but the price not going up with it. Therefore, there's not enough reason for Casper to rise in value, basically. And I'm like, okay, but then take into consideration everything else, the other fundamentals of the project, and equally what's coming for Casper. It doesn't make sense to me. Or at least, I'm not discrediting the author of the article. I think he's just trying to get a quick buck, make an article, get some clicks on it, and it's worked. Everyone's entitled to their own clickbait. The difference is, I would just happily use that as my element of source and say, you know what, I hear you, and I raise you all in and show you why that I don't believe in that theory. It'll come down that far. Casper's rainbow chart looks like when Bitcoin's bear market, meaning if Casper is on its own bear market for the last year, then it will be claiming out in the 2025. I mean, yeah, again, regarding, TA and that sort of stuff, I definitely think we could see, what's happened here. Interesting. Well, the article seems to have disappeared now. Oh well. But yeah, I think I think Casper has just been struggling for a year, as it has done. You can see here, but I think in the general thesis of Casper in 2025, how the bull market is going to go, it's going to do well. If what's coming out of Casper, it's going to do well. But they definitely want to make us sell our bags, no doubt about it. Casper is saying new standard for the tech. There will always be an interest in that 100%, and I'm sure there is a good chance you'll see the likes. Again, this sort of stuff is true revolutionary, you know. Having based rollups on Casper is a true revolution. You'll see Casper start to take in this sort of revenue when its adoption comes through more and more and more. Stealing from other chains, using stable coins as well, being a massive market mover, money mover of money on crypto, and you then potentially start seeing the likes of Visa jump on Casper as well in the future. And keep dumping to go. Did not. Even without smart contracts, Casper is easily one of the most secure, quickest, and affordable networks to use for transactions. Exactly. Casper already is revolutionary in what it is. When you see smart contracts come out and you see a better use case for developers and institutions to jump on board and build on Casper, that's when you'll see the adoption go absolutely crazy. Already seeing it build up slightly now with the KRI and their announcements, and Zodia partnering with Casper, who has 21 shares on board, with Grayscale considering Casper, with Marathon. You've already got a lot of decent institutional partnerships with Casper. They aren't taking active effect in Casper's price just yet, or Casper as a whole right now. But again, if the whole element of the mine shaft, Minecraft, they're building the foundation, they're mining the ores, and they're going to start bringing more and more, and actually start building the armor and going out on an adventure once everything's prepared for Casper, which I don't think is far off now. Q1 2025 Tangent Pay is coming. Yes, I did see that as well. That's when Visa and Tangent will be working together then in Q1 2025. It will be very, very big. Visa, I think, already had a lot of connections to crypto's industry as a whole, which is expected because they are the biggest payment institution in the world. But that's going to help with Tangent as well, and Tangent, again, are in bed with Casper, so that could very well help Casper out as well. Casper could be a sort of inverse market coin. In the bear market it pumps and the bull market is stagnant. That would be a very, very interesting thesis if that happened. Very interesting. Which if that's the case, then I mean, if that's the case and you call this a bear market, I'll take that. It's pumped in a bull market and not really come down until it's just done nothing for a year, and they're gonna start pumping again. That would be insane. I think Casper is not coincidence that TBS is coming in Q1. I don't think so either. I mean, I think it's coming at a very convenient time based on the developments of crypto as well. You'll see a lot of legislation and adoption coming out in Q1 as well. So I think it's a good time for it to come out. I think Casper, while slow, and where they may miss, potential, parts of the market because of how slow they are. I don't have a problem with how slow they're doing it. I prefer them taking their time doing it slow and methodical to make sure that it's, dare I say, perfect, and then you just see we can reap the benefits of the rewards for Casper. But yeah, it does seem to have a bit of a quiz for the 10 BPS coming out at a similar time. I don't think necessarily Visa will be utilising Casper straight off the bat, but you might see connections happening quite soon. What's up, my man? Welcome back to the stream. Hello, Caspians. Hold, do not be liquidity for whales and newcomers. I completely agree. Once more, if you want to sell, I mean, that's your choice. I'm not going to tell you to hold your assets per se. But I do believe there is a possibility that, ultimately, yes, you're seeing the addresses rise higher and higher. You're seeing the hash rate rise higher and higher. The belief in Casper as a project is not wavering at all. The price is struggling, but no one actually seems to care for the most part about the project Casper. Otherwise, people stop buying the project. People are still buying it. It's going up higher and higher. If you sell, you become liquidity for the newcomers and for the whales who keep filling their bags. So if you choose to sell, fine, but I'll just say do your own research and know what you hold. Well, Lambo, tough to say, Carl, my man, but I'm hoping it will be soon, hopefully Q1 2025. So maybe we can later on use Tangent with Visa. That would be huge news. I think it's a possibility. It seems to be a very decent possibility right now, which I'm very looking forward to. Marathon Digital is connected to BlackRock, is connected to Coinbase, and is in control of Binance. Not sure about the last one. I know that BlackRock are shareholders of Marathon. I know that it's connected to BlackRock and Coinbase. Don't know about the Binance part, but okay. They're responsible for the removal of CZ. BlackRock and its investments are not here to lose. I agree with the general thesis of your point, my man. Ultimately, BlackRock never loses. If BlackRock wants something done, it will happen. They wanted Bitcoin ETFs, it came through. They wanted Ethereum ETF, it came through. If BlackRock filed for an XRP ETF, the SEC wouldn't really say no to it, or they couldn't really say no to it. Because it's BlackRock. They tried to say no to Bitcoin ETFs, look what happened. Didn't work. So you'll see a lot more come through. So yes, and again, because BlackRock are shareholders of Marathon can only do the diversification of Bitcoin to Casper with their say-so. They're the largest shareholder. So therefore, BlackRock, evidently, because they don't lose, they wanted Casper. So BlackRock wants Casper. A very loose connection, but, it can be there. It can be made. When Moon, tough to say, Kevin, hopefully next year. I'm very optimistic with next year. Hopefully early next year. 100 BS 3K. I mean, well, if it's so if 300 TPS is right now at 1 BPS. If right now this is 300 TPS at 1 BPS. At 10 BPS it'll be 3,000. So you just times that by 10 again, that'd be 30,000 to 100 BPS. 100 BPS would be 30,000 TPS. It'll be 60,000 times faster than Bitcoin. I know that much. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. I do think Casper will achieve, it's going to achieve 10 BPS. I think we'll see the elusive pipe dream of 100 BPS come in the future as well. But yeah, ultimately BPS is more important than TPS. It's just understanding of it. It's not exactly a one-to-one thing, as Mr. Mars says here. It's not exactly one-to-one, but it's a kind of a general understanding of how it kind of works, But it is important nonetheless. Mexi and Gator doing the dirty work for the big players. One hand washes the other. I mean, yeah. I haven't really paid too much attention to Gate and what they're doing. We all do know full-heartedly that Mexi are definitely keeping the price of Casper down with their botting. I mean, you can see it once more looking at TradingView. Casper price right now is at $11.64, 11 cents, 11.64 cents, down 3%. But Mexi is 11.77, so it's actually higher. But the price of Mexi is never ever the same on other exchanges. It's always it's always very different. Normally a lot higher, which is weird. I lost 20k in 2021. I stored my funds on BlockFi as a TAD. We never received compensation. I have zero trust in someone storing my funds. I mean, yeah, I would. Again, that's one thing I reiterate. If you're in this space first time or even not first time, it's always worthwhile having a cold storage, a hardware wallet. I would never ever hold it on exchange. It's just so risky, especially with how the market's going right now, growing more and more. There's a real possibility that a lot of the exchanges don't actually have enough liquidity for the cryptos they're holding. So therefore, when everyone's trying to take count at the top, you'll see a lot of people not even allowed to take count. There's a good possibility of that. You're seeing more money than ever before flooded into the market. It's tough to say. That's why personally I say get a cold storage hardware wallet, whether it be Tangent, OneKey, Ledger, you name it. Those all three very, very good ones. I prefer Tangent, but I think it's definitely worth looking into. I pulled my money from my 401k retirement account to buy Casper capital dollars or zero. Ready for the fireworks. Great to hear, Jose, my man. I'm hopeful that it will be very, very celebratory for you, my man. I mean, it's all good for Nexo. They are regulated. I mean, yeah. Of course, Alyssa was here was talking in regards to whole other platform. Of course, there are regulators that can have an element of trust behind it. So having regulations is a good thing because it means it's quote unquote trusted. And therefore they should be adhering to it. But again, banks are regulated, or they're meant to be safe, and they're the ones stealing your funds as well. So, Nexo, this is a very, very good thing for Nexo, and more so for traditional investors as well who want to have some form of safekeeping. Nexo being a very big deal for the Casper adoption. And also, yes, you can buy Casper directly with your Apple Pay and that sort of very convenient stuff. But again, and with regulators coming through very soon, again, that will definitely probably help in this as well. But again, as it puts down here, not your keys, not your coin, do your own research. I prefer Tangent. Not discrediting Nexo, it's huge, but I prefer Tangent. Completely impossible. I mean, nothing's impossible. Nothing impossible. I just think it's highly, highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Don't know why the price of Casper's just gone now. But hey ho. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I don't think it's impossible. Nothing's ever impossible in this space. But it's extremely unlikely. You know, little to zero chance. Casper doesn't have to go with Bitcoin 1-to-1. True, doesn't. A non-profit org like the Casper team do things right, while for-profit VC-backed won't and will take shortcuts. Casper holders need to be patient, otherwise you can't call yourself one. Yeah, completely true. I agree with you, Tony, right there. Like, again, a lot of these projects in this space have VC backing, institutional connections, all the sort of stuff, which is helping their price and fantastic to them. And even people who, like, again, like some of us, like me, myself, who have made money off that, fantastic. But as they have their centralization, their lack of their VC backing, there's nothing saying they can't just take it from you. It's an element of risk that you're taking. That's why most of us are here in Bitcoin and Casper only, because it's safer. Inherently, it should be safer. But of course, do your own research. And equally, once more, this is the sort of risk management stuff that we will be covering, and we do cover more so in the Patreon, in the Coin Factory Executive channel. We'll be covering multiple things from hidden gems. We're putting more and more in as the cycle starts to go more bullish as well. We'll be doing weekly live streams as well, starting to the new year. We'll give you some buy and sell alerts for crypto projects, leverage trading, and learn how to effectively manage risks and maximize trading profitability. And even if you want insight into portfolios, you know, you get our opinions on your portfolio insight, then yes, we'll help you out where we can. But ultimately, right now, for me, Casper's still a solid pick. And there's a lot of money to make in crypto, and the profit you can make can be put more into Casper issue. For me, I see it as an easy ride up, you know. If it goes down 90%, I'm selling both. I mean, yeah, if it goes down 90%, I'm selling everything I own to go heavy into Casper then. 100%. Like, there's no way. Absolutely no way. What's the lowest you think we will see of 10 BPS? I can't say for sure, because I don't know where the price is. It depends. If Casper reaches 50 cent by 10 BPS, then who knows? It may not only come to 35. If it doesn't move at all until 10 BPS, then maybe it doesn't move. I can't say for sure. It's tough to really predict that sort of stuff. It depends on the market conditions. I don't know. I think Casper are going to probably have a rally of sorts, like reaching also high, maybe surpassing it in Q1, maybe before 10 BPS. But of course, it depends. It depends. You don't really have it up to Q1. Maybe it doesn't as well. Maybe it doesn't. It's tough to say. If we get Binance before that, it will. If we get Bitcoin going absolutely crazy and regulators coming through very quickly, it probably would. You see ETFs being launched left and right, therefore increasing the possibility in the FOMO that you could see a Casper ETF that could also help as well. Why were Casper dump 90% after Visa adoption? No, it's not after Visa adoption. It's the way I put it in the title. Apologies, Alpha Minds. The title states that Casper is going to fall 90% from here, based on an article put here, which is basically just talking about the holders increasing, yet the price is not going up as well. Head and shoulders, that sort of stuff, so therefore the price could correct heavily, which I disagree with heavily. The Visa part is Tom Polinsky, Casper's founder, talking back in 2018 about, or prediction even, that Visa will adopt scalability technology similar to Casper's. You know, they'll start adopting crypto and blockchain technology, and that's already happening. We've seen a lot of that with Ripple and XRP, and even furthermore, Visa are partner with Tangent, and they'll be launching their Tangent Pay in Q1 of 2025. So that it's not the, it won't dump that after Visa adoption. It's two separate parts. That I made a break in it. It's a potential 90% correction in value or crash in value, and then Casper founder saying Visa is coming. You know, so that equally furthermore debunking the belief that we won't see a sort of decline in value, because this is the adoption we're seeing in the space. Potentially for Casper as well. But it is bullish bait, yes. A little off topic, but KuCoin might less Hoppy. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about meme coins recently as well. I know Hoppy is one that, the ones people talk about a lot right now is Hoppy, Turbo. I've seen a bit of a fall off with Brett recently, but everyone's talking about Brett as well. But these are the ones people talk about quite a lot. KuCoin will be very, very big. The reason why KuCoin is big is, typically speaking, when you get a KuCoin listing, Binance tends to follow quite soon afterwards. Of course, Casper's not happening with Casper as well. But typically speaking, when KuCoin lists, Binance tend to follow soon enough afterwards. So that is a good thing for Hoppy, you know. It's currently where Hoppy's at right now. You can see their meme coin. Be very careful. They're even more risky than layer ones. But they have a very good cult-like community behind it. So it could have some very good price momentum from here as well. But of course, do your own research and trade your own discretion. Right now it's on CoinEx. XT, Bing X, Gate, Mexi, Uniswap, and so on and so forth. Bro, you helped with making one with crypto. If I'm gonna, yeah, I mean, I apologize. I think I just misread that or misunderstood it, but I believe you're saying I've helped with people making money in crypto, and if that's the case, then you're welcome. I mean, I'm saying that there is someone in question who has put it in the testimonials channel, which I do actually need to pop. I need to ask people to populate a little bit more of the testimonials channel in the server. But shout out to Greg, my man, who did state about a month ago that he joined the Discord. He first joined Discord a month ago and stated that, you know, thanks to my daily streams, he actually found Kango early. Even though I wasn't really shitting Kango per se, he found Kango early because of my daily streams. He went on CoinX, or he knew it was going to be listed on CoinX, and he ended up putting a small bag into it and made a 30x. So shout out to Greg, my man. You're doing that's insane. I've heard a lot of people who've said very similar things to me. You know, more people who've said I've helped them out. I'm very happy about. But yeah, I need to. I'll probably make an announcement in there saying those who, you know, appreciate and that sort of, can you mind just fit in the testimonials chat? It just looks good as well. But yeah, I mean, I definitely know I have helped a few people out, and I'm happy with that, and I hope to continue in that fashion this cycle going forward as well. And again, the Patreon partner element where you can learn even more, you know, even more knowledge and stuff that I haven't, equally traders have as well on there, that can be more beneficial for you in building your capital in the cycle. Virtuals and its project AI are doing very well. The market is stagnating and these projects are climbing. Yeah, AI, virtual AI as well, they're doing insane. Some of my hidden gem picks that I also have released. Well, I need to populate it a little bit more. I'm going to be doing more so as we get into the new year as well. But some of the hidden gem picks as well are some AI projects that I got into, and I've already made like a 5x on them. And I think they can go much, much higher. They're like 2 million market cap right now or so, and they can easily go to 1 billion, I believe. Not having VC and marketing team is the biggest gift ever. Imagine a blockchain and decentralized Bitcoin that is so cheap and everyone can build decentralized applications and use it for all the payments. I agree. Obviously, the VC backing and marketing team would help the price go up higher and higher, definitely. But it also allows us to actually build our allocation of Casper should we choose to be bullish on it at lower value. So we can get in even more so before the mass adoption comes into Casper. Just bought 10 more Casper. Big up to you, Andy A, every day. Bullish on Casper. I love to hear, my man. You're going to be the most bullish out of all of us, I'm sure. Invested 20k euro on that coin. Is that coin in regards to Hoppy or Kango? I'm guessing that's in regard to Hoppy. I mean, either way, I mean, great to hear, my man. So what's the point now? Is Casper going down? No, it won't go down 9%. No. It's this again. It's this article in question, the writer's so-called clickbait title, and I've just leveraged that for this stream. I apologize, but you know, it's an element of the stream. People talk about the potential of 90% correction, and I'm saying chances are extremely low. Casper is like a YouTube channel that puts most of its focus on the content itself and the grind instead of focusing on playing the algo game or focusing on marketing. I mean, there are a lot of channels, of course. I mean, I do still focus on Casper price action, of course, to an extent. There are other Casper channels that focus purely on TA, which is fine. I think you should be focusing on other elements of stuff as well, like the actual developments coming out. This sort of information is very, very bullish. But again, be it as it may, I'm not going to tell you how to make your video and your content. But yes, every other project in this space, like XRP, people talk about the developments as well all the time as well. There's a lot coming out for XRP, but it's all PA as well. It's all PA, yeah, it's all PA. It takes those channels time to grow, but it's consistent and they get the biggest and have the best communities. I mean, yeah, I think Mr. Mars is not saying it exactly, but I think he's also kind of being a testament to me here, and I like to say that's kind of the case. I've been doing YouTube on this channel. I've been working, you know, this sort of content creation for a little bit longer, but for YouTube itself, this channel, we're doing it, I think around March, maybe that might even be May time. I think May time or March time is when I started doing this channel. So it's been almost a year since I've actually started, you know, making content on this channel. I started the live streams in August, and since the live streams in August, I have been doing it every single day. Every day without fail. Videos aren't as frequent, and I apologize for that. The videos in the new year will be becoming a lot more frequent. You'll get your short form content back, so you haven't got to listen to me ramble for an hour, or even over that as it is right now. But every single day, and those who are actually doing their own research and bringing the information to the public, and also building a community of people like I think we're doing here with the Coin Factory, the paid servers, and equally the free one as well, who are learning more. we will have the most to benefit from this in the future. You know, it's going to be very, very big. Joe Rogan was one of those channels as well. Bitcoin one of those technologies. Exactly. For more than 1 week, you couldn't deposit. I was talking about on MEXC thoughts. Apparently, from what I heard, it may be because they were testing on 10 BPS. I can't say for sure. I did hear something earlier in the general chat that apparently, Tony put it in that apparently the CasperPool.org is preparing for 10 BPS as well, which is, you know, pretty cool. So we're seeing that becoming, you know, speeding up more and more, which is a very big deal. Rusty, Casper, Crescendo upgrade. MEXC, you know, is the biggest volume trader of Casper. I do have MEXC. I do use MEXC on occasion. Have used it in quite some time, truth be told. Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate that seemingly the way they're manipulating Casper's price and the fact they can withdraw Casper for, you know, over a week is a testament once more to the whole element of don't have your crypto on exchanges. You know, not your keys on the crypto. Have a Tangent or a cold storage wallet be the best thing to do. Coinbase is considered the safest crypto exchange available, and even Coinbase says if we go bankrupt, we're keeping your coins. Yeah, again, Coinbase, there was literally an announcement I saw a while back going through Twitter where people were just complaining about Coinbase freezing their funds. That's not even in the peak of the bull cycle yet, and the people are freezing their funds. Coinbase is like, that's ultimately the end. It's just a... Coinbase is so-called the safest exchange, but there's still going to be an element of risk to that. You know, it's the same thing for a bank, you know. You have $100,000 in a bank, you cannot take out $100,000 out at one point. They won't let you, because the money that you put in there, they would have put into investments. Whether it be the treasury or the bonds, whatever they've done, they would have put it into investment housing market. If you put 100k into a bank, that will not be there. You should go back to them again. You have to put it into other accounts, which I'm not going to get into on stream because that's a whole other headache. But that's what Tangent provides. You know, actual safekeeping of your crypto assets. Turbo and Bonk will go to the moon. I think Turbo and Bonk are two very decent picks for meme coins. You know, they're decent ones in the cycle. Hoppy could be a decent one as well. I don't hold memes, like any big cap memes. I think the biggest cap meme I hold is technically a hidden, it's not really a hidden gem, it's one that I haven't disclosed in the Coin Factory executive channel, but I will be putting it in there. But I'll disclose it here, it's a free one as well. It's called Giga. I'm sure everyone should know what Giga is. No, not Giga, I tell a lie, it's not called Giga, it's called Goat. Goat, not Giga, Goat, apologies. It's called Goat. Goatius Maximus there's the first AI terminal to come on Twitter who basically made this coin, and they made like over $1 million in such a short span of time with Goat. It's currently down quite significantly, but I believe it already surpassed 1 billion. I think this one's going to go much higher due to the AI narrative. It's the first AI, the AI like agent coin launched. So I think it's got, much it's down right now, I think Goat could be one that starts very, very well on the cycle. As AI starts coming back as well. Of course, time will tell, but again, they're memes. Be very careful, do your own research. This is one that I will put in here, and also I'll put it in, I do have a free channel for hidden gems as well. I'll put it in that one as well. But most of the hidden gems, the big hidden gem picks I'll put in there, amongst everything else we provide in this, will be exclusive to the executives. But everything I'll already provide in the free server is already, I've had so much people say it's incredible, so... You know, I'm happy with everything going right now. Sometimes I am confused, I'll be honest. Sometimes, but because I've got a reading grade of a 10-year-old. Sometimes, honestly, like English is not my forte. I know I'm English. I know I'm from the UK, but I'm not. My English level is actually terrible. I hate English. I'm more the maths guy. I'm not Bullish with Casper at all. Oh, never mind then. Just buying more and more because why not? When the title ends with a question mark, it means the content is exactly opposite. Exactly. If you see 90% fall from here, question mark, exclamation point, it's like, is it going to fall 1%? Probably not, but, you know, come check it out, you know what I mean? Something to check, Valor that launched ETPs and the mention of Jane Street as author participants. Maybe there's Rabbit Hole there. Oh, well, I'll have a look a bit into that as well. That sounds very interesting. I know Valor launched ETPs and Casper's already been launched with that. Jane Street connection, that'd be a very big thing for Casper as well. I'll have a look into that. I'll even save that, and I'll have a look into that. Sorry, you might see a little bit of a screen thing here, just so I can save that and look at that at a later date. I knew what he was doing with the title because he got the article from me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, again, the community is a helpful place for all of us to learn, even for me. You know, like I obviously have my knowledge of Casper, as I've showcased time and time again. We're all quite knowledgeable on Casper, I like to believe, but the community is there for everyone to have a place to learn, have the source of it, also for people to put their own content in there, and then I can obviously talk about it. You know, it's a give and take. You know. Banks are FDIC protected to the point, but only to a point. Yeah. Now one of us should make a gigagoat. No. I'm pretty sure, you know what, I say that, there's probably already a gigagoat out there. Most coins already have a derivative of it, so I'm sure you can see that as well. If you make it, send me a free bag for your name. You just don't stop, are you? You love it. You love it, don't you? Tartaya. I can't pronounce that. Tartaya. Meme on 4 blockchains including Solana and Tron. Have a look at Tartaya real quick. Did I misspell that? No, it's just lagging. Okay, this one I'm guessing. It's Solana. It's on Sui. Where's the... Okay, well, I can't see the exchange. I mean, yeah, this is Tartaria at least. Never heard of it. For looks, feel like it just came out, sort of thing, or like it's. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. But Tartaria. No, seems to be. I mean, you can see it here. It's on Solana, Sui. Yeah, I mean. That seemed like a small cap, like micro cap sort of toy. I mean, if you want to link it to my man once more, go check it out. Put it in the meme channel, in the community server. Have a look through it. Maybe put the deck screener link. And we'll have a look at it. As someone who develops, the idea of the speed and small fees mean we can make layer 1 order books exchanges that are atomic and cheap like Mexi. Imagine XMexi with perfect safety. I mean, that would be the dream come true. Casper would become so massively adopted, it would be insane. That's kind of the dream for Casper. That's why I want. That's the ultimate reason why I'm in Casper, because I'm in Casper to make money, of course, but that sort of pipe dream, not even pipe, that sort of belief, that dream, is why I know the money will come to Casper in the future. Here is a link. A link to what? Did you put it in the community? You haven't yet. Okay, well, send me a link when you come, man. I just heard about a coin called Squid Game token. Is it legit? Probably. Squid Game right now is very, very popular. Of course, it was very popular when it first came out. Yeah, you can see here. It was very popular when it first came out. The season 2 apparently is doing very, very well. I've not watched any of it yet. I might do in the future. I watched the first season. It was quite entertaining. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, there was a token that came out when Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul, and is also showing on Netflix. They make a token called Mike's Butt. You know, like, tokens come out for everything. Hawk Tour coin, you know, memes come out for everything. It's trying to find the good narratives. This, for me, seems to be doing quite well right now because Squid Game's currently popular. It's going to fall off. Squid Game's not going to be a long-term narrative for me. Unless something drastic happens with Squid Game, I don't think it's going to really take off. Oh, okay, Mr. Martin. So if you want to send the link, then yes, do it in the Discord server because YouTube seems to block for some reason. I don't know why, which is weird actually. Because weirdly, maybe it's just a viewer thing because I can link stuff in my channel. I can link stuff here as well. But hey, sexy submission is no problem. I'm never selling unless they were messing with the network. Then we could forcefully take my coins. I mean, yeah, if you want to hold a Mexi, that's fine. Like, you will. I just don't use Mexi that often, that's all really. But that being said, thank you all once more for watching today's stream. 29th of December today, 2 days away from New Year's Eve. Into the new year, we're going to see a lot of, hopefully, very, very bullish developments and momentum coming for Casper and crypto, as we have a lot of big things coming very early on into 2025. But that being said, thank you all once more for watching. The channel owner and mods can link things. All YouTube channels are forced to follow this. Okay. Right, well that explains that. Either way, you can get into the server and we'll have a look at it in there, my man. But thank you all more for watching. Yeah, the Casper right now, price is down, but the adoption is far from it, going higher and higher. A lot of bullish sentiment around crypto right now. Things are going to be looking very bullish going into Q1, and Casper, I think, has got a lot of big things coming through it. This title for me, respect to the developer, the writer, is just a clickbait title, as I've utilized myself. I think Casper's due for a lot of momentum in the cycle based on all the developments. This could potentially be a bottom for Casper, and I'm hopeful that Casper can still make some significant gains in the cycle. So join the stream, leave a like, share your friends, subscribe for more. If you want to know about crypto and other market sentiment, check out my free Discord server. Again, link in the chat description, also my homepage. And if you want to be even more locked in, learning more about other developments, portfolio analysis, crypto gems, how to trade, everything else like that, then feel free to go check out the Patreon, which is right here. It's growing gradually, but I'm sure as the market starts to accelerate more and more and crypto starts to go parabolic, it will equally go very parabolic as well. And time will be running out, I'm sure, but go and check it out. Once more, link in the chat description on my homepage. Hope you have all a very good day, good evening, good night, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care now.